I'd like to welcome everybody to the SMT Division's webinar. My name's Sean Jackson. I am the GSA representative to the SMT board. I am not an SMT expert, but I am an SMT enthusiast. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I am involved with SMT, but hopefully we'll get to know more about what SMT Division really is, what our projects are through this. We do have Paige Hale, Kim Hewitt, Leslie Blatt, and Tamara Hudnall with us this evening to talk about their respective roles. So hello, everyone. And I'm just going to take you through a brief introduction of who we are as a division. And so what is SMT? Well, traditionally SMT is the School Media Technology Division and has provided this kind of segue into AECT for a lot of practitioners out there who maybe didn't have a home in a division and didn't know exactly where they fit in because they weren't really researchers, but they may have been grad students in instructional design, but came from a practitioner background. That's how I got involved. I'm a practitioner, and SMT seemed like my home of professionals all across the board saying, hey, I'm part of this learning process, maybe not in the K-12 school environment like a lot of school media people are, but I want to have a place in AECT, and this usually is a great place for somebody to say, I want to know more about AECT. And you can see Brian Coleman showing those painted rocks. We're going to do painted rocks all the time at our next division. I think that was just a great campaign. So, so who are we? We are K-12 educators. We're school librarians. We're teachers. I'm a computer science teacher, and I'm a school technology coordinator for a high school. So we are also K-12 support personnel, but we're any type of media or technology practitioner out there in the field of educational technology, whatever area that may be. But we also have some professors of school library and educational technology. So we have a lot of diversity here. We're not just researchers. We're not just from the classroom. We are a big blend of, some people have done it all and gone on to different things. So that's who we are as an organization and who makes us up. And you can just see a lot of the different things that we are interested in. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. So what are we not interested in probably would have been a better question. But I meet people in SMT who are not just part of the SMT division and part of the SMT mission, but they're involved in lots of other divisions and lots of other programs that are going on. We like to partner with a lot of divisions saying, hey, SMT would like to help out with this because we think we could offer this viewpoint. So we really have, one of the trends that you can see up here is how is ed tech influencing the K-12 classroom or just the K-12 environment in general. Another trend is how do we connect technologies with our students and make better educators come out of our pre-teaching programs. We also talk to leaders about, hey, this is better as far as policy. This is what the research says. Why don't we look at these things to make sure that our research is still affecting our leadership level, both at the school level and in the general larger environment of K-12 education in general. But really, we're about the implementation and the marriage of research and practice. So I think that's a good statement to go with as far as what we're all about and what we're interested in. We have a few of our initiatives that are currently going on, and we'll talk about these. We have our Learning Spaces repository. our webinar series, which this is one of those webinars that's going on right now, introducing you to SMT. We have an active logo competition where we're trying to kind of re-envision SMT and beef up that modernized logo. And then we're seeking anyone and everyone who wants to participate in conference planning and helping us be active participants in the AECT community at our annual convention. Okay, so we're going to just dive right into our first one of those initiatives, and that is our Learning Spaces repository. So Paige, if you'll take over and tell us all about that.
All right, I sure will. Can you all hear me all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, great. The Learning Space repository, first of all, I want to say it is a joint project with the Teacher Education Division. It was born of a brainstorming session during the 2016 summer leadership meetings when we were doing our strategic planning and looking at how we could collaborate with other divisions, and both TED and SMT leadership, we talked about wanting to not really leave a product, but create something that would last and would build and would become useful from many angles. So the idea behind the Learning Space repository is we want to create first video walkthroughs of learning spaces. Just for various reasons, to have so individuals could go look this is what the learning space looks like, this is how it's used, but also so professors, for example, could assign their students in a college class to go pick 3 or 4 of the video walkthroughs and tell us what you see, critique them. What do you notice about how they're being used, either the space or you know, the techniques and the various you know, learning tools. So that's where it started, and of course, because it's a joint project between SMT and the Teacher Education Division, we are at this point in the initial launch of it focused on K-12 learning spaces, but from the beginning we said if this was something that took hold and were to grow, we would love to see you know, the organizational training and performance division maybe bring in some you know, training spaces from industry, or bring in some public library learning spaces, just pretty much anything. So that's kind of where we're going. And like I said, part of it could be, you know, we could be 30 years from now and feel like we don't have a good sense of what a library media learning space looked like and how it was used. But with this archive, we'll be able to go back. So that's the big thing. Recently, and we didn't include all this in the slide, but we're even talking about ways that the Learning Space repository, in starting it, might be user-friendly, because a lot of K-12 teachers, and even some, I would argue, library media specialists, might not feel particularly comfortable editing a video walkthrough and having it look really professional and clean and having to go through all that, and that might discourage them from submitting. So we have also talked about utilizing the blog function on the new AECT website to possibly get those initial teacher submissions, then we could walk them through developing them more into a video format, or even a screencast type PowerPoint for ones who might want to do pictures. But our ultimate goal is to have some really nice polished videos. But whatever will work, we just want to get this started. And I know when we talked about using a slideshow version, we talked about Adobe Spark. So where are we going with this? It's still in the initial phases for the most part. The next step is Kristen Brittenson. She is the past president of the Teacher Education Division. She is working on our first video walkthrough that will be kind of like the prototype. This will be the one we put out there so people can see, this is what they want. So it will be just a very good example. So we will use our resources within SMT and TED to make a very solid version. And she's reaching out to a former National School Library Media Specialist of the Year who is renowned for his maker spaces. So that will be our first walkthrough. And then we will put out that walkthrough, a call for submissions, and hopefully we will have a fairly robust repository starting from there. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to contact myself. So you see my email on the slide. Kristen Brittenson also would be great. And then we have some others. We listed some of the project leads. Mike Carlin is a doctoral student from IU. Tiffany Roman's a member of TED, and this goes along with her dissertation research. And we have others who are very involved as well. So, and we have the call for volunteers. You can work for it to help us manage it, curate it, and sustain it going forward. So, if anybody has any questions?
All right, thank you, Paige. I just want to point out that that's an excellent mission for both teacher education and SMT. And just thinking from my perspective of being in a school, how difficult it is to get some of those just-in-time learning experiences that are authentic for our teachers all across the board. I think that's a great resource that we can start building and get the brand out there.
Yeah, hopefully by the fall, we'll be able to, put out, well, hopefully by summer leadership, the plan is to have our really nice example, but also encouraging the blog. So we'll have an example blog post and an example Adobe Spark post as well. Share it out at summer leadership. And then our goal is for the various professors, many of which are teaching in teacher education programs, can then possibly use this as an assignment, and incorporate it into their teaching so that we can get, the teacher who's working on the master's degree can go through their classroom or to go through their library media space so we can start building these up. So it's exciting.
All right, thank you. Our webinar series, we'll just go ahead and kick it over to Kim, if you'd like to take over right there.
Okay. So as it has been mentioned by several folks previously, SMT is interested in the work of practitioners in schools. And I know that at AECTs in the past, we have tried to do, and we have succeeded in doing practitioner events. We just did a really good one at Jacksonville, led by Paige Hale and Tamara Hudnell, this past 2017 event. And we've done it in the past as well. But those can be challenging. It can be challenging to get the teachers there. So we thought, let's try to meet with practitioners and kind of learn from what they're doing in that intersection of schools and technology throughout the year, not just at AECT events. It might be easier to actually leverage the technology to let us see what folks are doing. So we don't have a super narrow focus beyond that intersection of technology in schools, but we did, Sean showed us the list of what SMT is about previously, a few slides up. And so any of those topics would be game. But our goal, getting down to the numbers, is we want to do at least 4 sessions this year in 2018, and we want to do 4 webinar sessions in 2019. So it's kind of a 2-year commitment. We did our first webinar last month featuring a couple of school library advocates in the state of Georgia who have worked together with a lot of other people, but we got to see 2 people representing the work of school librarians to create an assessment tool for school libraries, because there's a lot of confusion about what their role is, and when there's confusion, then principals don't know how to help them develop and grow, etc. So that was a school library focused one. I know another session I want to do is on computer science education. I'll probably look to people in Georgia, but this is where I need the help from folks in SMT division. I don't need to be the only person finding people to feature in the webinar series. I would love for anybody in SMT, or even people not in SMT that just want to help with this, to feature the work of practitioners across the world. It doesn't have to be just the United States, of course, or North America. So if you want to be featured in a webinar series, if you're doing something that you think is innovative, something that others can learn from, we would love to feature you potentially. And any help that you would like to give. If you want to help run a webinar, we've got the platform, and we can make it happen. So we would just want to get the practice that people are doing in schools out for folks to actually interact with. So that's the webinar series. And you can go, if you go to this tinyurl.com/smt-webinars, that will take you to our YouTube channel where we have our one webinar from last month posted up there. And we'll post our future ones up there as well. Anything I'm missing, guys, from SMT that you'll want to add about this? Any questions from the audience or comments?
No. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything in, posted in the chat window, but thank you, Kim. And as always, you know, get in contact with us. You can be a part of any one of these initiatives that we're all about. We are not an exclusive group. That's why they let me in, you know, so yeah. We want people to join and be a part of and get involved. And so these are great opportunities for anyone to help with that kind of stuff.
If I could piggyback off of that, because I am going to talk about this logo competition as well. But before I get to the logo competition, you know, I'm a member of lots of different divisions in AECT, but this is like the warm, fuzzy heart of my AECT universe now. They're completely just wonderful. They make you comfortable. It can be a little bit intimidating getting into a professional organization full of brainiacs like AECT. And this is a group of brainiacs here, but they are down-to-earth brainiacs. And so I hope that people will consider that. Definitely come visit our booth in Kansas City, if nothing else, and come to our membership luncheon. But Tam will talk about that in a few slides. All right, so the logo competition, this is our, we have a logo that you can see if you're looking at the video, a previously made logo. It's our current logo. It's lovely, but we wanted to see if we might be able to come up with some new ideas for that. So we have 2 pages of instructions, and we invite, basically at this point, how can you help? You can help by submitting a logo that represents our division. Again, Sean talked about it a few slides above about what SMT division is about. So kind of try to think about what SMT is about. The instructions at tinyurl.com/logo18smt also actually have links out to what is SMT to kind of help you shape what you think could be a good visual representation of our division. And we invite you to submit that logo. You've got a little more than 2 weeks at this point. They're due on April 15th. And these people that we have listed here, Kim Hewitt, Leslie Blatt, Michelle Stork, Tamara Hudnell, and Sean Jackson, we will be sort of blind reviewing these logos. So there's going to be a nice little prize for people for the winning logo, and we'll try to give feedback to everybody. So it can also be a lovely learning experience as well. So contact me with any questions, go see the instructions online, and we do hope that you'll submit the next SMT logo to take us into the 21st century, further into it.
I mean, that finishing statement, you know, who's going to be the next American Idol? It's who is going to have the next SMT logo. I mean,
that's right.
This could make you famous. Okay.
It will.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Kim, for taking us through that one.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions about webinar logo? All right.
I think we're all good. Now, conference participation. So, Tamara, are you going to take that over, or are you guys tag teaming that one?
Tamara can have that.
Okay.
I'm here as a backup.
Okay, conference participation. I'm kind of stuck, y'all. Like what part?
Okay, let me get you started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conference is like the big party. It's where we all meet and
Okay.
convene.
Okay.
So, you know, we've had all these different events, and we really just want people to come visit us, come see us, come to our luncheon, which we do offsite at a really cool restaurant that Michelle found. And we have our membership table set up at the opening reception. And then we do fun little activities throughout the convention. And what else, Tamara? How else can we get people involved?
One of the things that a lot of people that come to the conference that are new, they're looking for people that they can meet, that are warm, that really can pull them in. And school media and technology is definitely one of those divisions. And that's how I got snatched up into AECT, and I hung out with Brad and Phil and Karen from Colorado. I mean, there was so many people that made me feel really comfortable. And this was 4 years ago now. And it doesn't seem like it, but it was 4 years ago. And I'm still here, and I'm here because people made me feel welcome. They didn't make me feel like, I could never be a part of AECT. So when you come to the conference, there's so much to do. And it's really good to get connected with people that can mentor you, to tell you what the other divisions are about and what they're doing, but especially come see school media and technology and hang out with us, because we're definitely movers and shakers in school media in AECT. Look for me.
And I'll go ahead and agree with Tamara on that. You can always help us out with the activities, but the first day I was in Las Vegas, okay, I saw Dr. Curry. He's my committee chair and everything. So, and he said, "You need to go meet people." I said, "Okay." And so I saw this crowd of people walking, and I knew Paige, and I said hi to her, and she's like, "Come join us for dinner." And Leslie was there. It was SMT. Leslie was there. Dennis was there. And so I was like, okay, I don't know anyone, so I'll go with you guys. That's cool. And that's how I got involved. It was not intimidating, because just go for it, and I'm not a shy person, if you can't tell. But and just going to the luncheon the following Thursday, I think, it was just a really good experience, and talked to a lot of people. So there's so much to do, but if you want to become a member, find a division that is aligned with you. And if you can't find a division that fits you, I guarantee you at SMT, we want you here, okay? Because we, again, are a part of a lot of different divisions. We dip our toes in a lot of things, and it really all meshes well with what we're all about. So that's just my little plug for it. Now, so that brings us to the end of our brief presentation. I'm just going to open up to questions or any final thoughts from people. Leslie has now unmuted herself, everyone. Leslie has the floor.
Hi, everyone. Actually, I would just like to add a little bit more about SMT that some people may not know. I've been a member for 18 years or something of AECT and SMT. I'm a past president of SMT. We are not just everything with SMT. We do branch out. We're very active with state organizations. It used to be a lot with Georgia. We are very active with the New Jersey Association of School Librarians, and every year they send an award winner that is from a joint award that is with AECT. So we are not just within the colleges, universities, and schools. We are also with state school library organizations. So if you do know any, please, I think we've just joined, I think Pennsylvania has just also joined back with AECT. The other thing is that SMT is a co-sponsor of an AECT award, which has to do with school districts. And all the information, it's the Richard B. Lewis Memorial Award, and we work with the foundation, the AECT Foundation. We are in charge of vetting the applications. So check out the awards page and look for the Richard B. Lewis. And if you know of a school district that is basically fits the bill, please contact me. I'm the liaison for that. And it's something else that our division is very happy to work with and to present. We've presented it now twice since the award has been rejuvenated in a way. So consider us, and as Sean's right, we are a very friendly group, and we are always anxious to hear and help. Anyone who is interested or has a concern, is in another area, but has a concern about anything that we take care of. So contact us.
Thank you, Leslie. Again, you can access this page on our, or access this recorded webinar on our YouTube page, and we have lots of contact information out there. You can always get back a hold of us. Any final thoughts or any final questions for the entire group out there? Well, if not, I'm going to say thanks for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you at the convention.